I'm Stephanie Watson, and tonight, I'm running from myself again. The prescription bottle rattles in my designer purse as I slip through the back entrance of the Irvine Underground Film Society. 2 pills down, anxiety barely manageable. The paparazzi think I'm at some charity gala, but here I am, desperate for anonymity in this converted warehouse that smells like old leather and forgotten dreams. "Find a seat anywhere," whispers the volunteer at the door. "Casablanca starts in 5. Perfect. A classic to lose myself in while the opioids work their magic. I choose a corner chair, pulling my hood up despite the October heat still lingering in Southern California. The room fills with maybe 30 cinephiles, all here for the pure love of film, not Instagram moments or strategic networking. That's when I see her. Brunette hair catches the projector's warm glow, brown eyes focused intensely on a sketch pad. She's drawing something, completely absorbed, oblivious to the chatter around her. There's something magnetic about her concentration, the way her pencil moves with deliberate strokes across the paper. The film begins, but I find myself watching her instead of Humphrey Bogart. She alternates between sketching and watching, occasionally pushing wire-rimmed glasses up her nose. Every gesture seems authentic, unperformed. "Here's looking at you, kid." Bogart delivers his famous line, and she looks up from her drawing, catching me staring. Heat floods my cheeks. When the credits roll, the usual post-film discussion begins. A bearded guy in flannel starts analyzing the cinematography, but the brunette raises her hand. "The real art isn't just Curtiz's direction," she says, voice soft but confident. "It's how the black and white photography mirrors the moral ambiguity. Every shadow tells a story." "Exactly," I blurt out, surprising myself. The lighting makes Rick's transformation believable. We see his internal conflict externalized. She turns toward me, those brown eyes meeting my blue ones directly. "You really get it." "Stephanie," I say, extending my hand. Mariah Butler. Her handshake is firm, artistic fingers slightly stained with charcoal. "You're not just another pretty face, are you?" If only she knew how desperately I need to be something more. The discussion continues around us, but we've created our own bubble. She shows me her sketch, a stunning interpretation of the cafe scene with incredible detail. "You're incredibly talented," I whisper. Coming from someone who probably knows real artistry, that means something. The crowd begins dispersing. My pills are wearing off, reality creeping back in. But something about Mariah makes me want to stay present, to feel this moment without chemical assistance. There's a diner nearby, I venture. Open all night, terrible coffee but private booths. She closes her sketch pad slowly, considering. I'd like that. As we walk toward the exit together, I catch her stealing glances at me. Not the calculating looks I'm used to, measuring my market value or scandal potential. These are curious, interested looks. "By the way," she says as we step into the cool night air. "I know who you are, Stephanie Watson, but tonight, you're just the woman who understands Casablanca." For the first time in months, I smile genuinely. The Moonlight Diner squats between a dry cleaner and a pawn shop, its neon sign flickering like a dying heartbeat. Perfect for what I need tonight, somewhere no entertainment journalists would dare venture. Mariah follows me into the vinyl booth sanctuary, both of us claiming the corner spot farthest from the kitchen noise. 2 coffees, I tell the waitress, then discreetly slip 2 white pills into my mouth, chasing them with water. "Vitamins," I explain to Mariah's questioning look. "My trainer insists on supplements for the filming schedule." "Must be exhausting, all that pretending." She opens her sketch pad again, studying my face in the harsh fluorescent light. "Do you ever get to just be yourself?" The pills haven't kicked in yet, leaving my thoughts sharp and anxious. "What makes you think this isn't me?" Because the woman debating Casablanca had fire in her voice. "Right now, you look like you're performing recovery." Damn. She sees too much. "Tell me about your art," I deflect, sliding closer on the cracked vinyl. Those illustrations looked incredible. Mariah's pencil moves across the page, capturing my jawline with surprising intimacy. I specialize in botanical illustrations. Scientific accuracy meets artistic interpretation. Plants don't lie or act or hide behind personas. Unlike people. Unlike most people. She glances up, brown eyes serious. But maybe not all. The coffee arrives, bitter and strong. My pills finally take the edge off, letting me breathe deeper. Mariah continues sketching, occasionally asking me to turn slightly or tilt my chin. Her attention feels different from photographers and directors, less invasive, more appreciative. Why Irvine? I ask. Most artists head to LA or San Francisco. Peace. Space to think. My studio's in this converted garage with perfect north-facing light. She adds shading to my cheekbones. Plus, rent doesn't require selling my soul. Smart choice. Is it though? Her pencil pauses. Sometimes I wonder if I'm hiding from real success, staying in my comfortable little bubble. There's nothing wrong with protecting your art from the machine that destroys everything it touches. She looks at me sharply. Speaking from experience? The pills make honesty feel safer than usual. Hollywood takes what makes you special and turns it into a commodity, then wonders why you need chemicals to remember who you used to be. Is that what those vitamins really are? My chest tightens. Mariah. Sorry. She returns to her drawing. None of my business. But I want it to be her business. This stranger who sees through my performance makes me crave authenticity I'd forgotten existed. When she finishes the sketch and slides it across the table, I'm stunned by what she's captured. Not the airbrushed magazine version, but something raw and real. You drew me like I matter, I whisper. You do matter. The space between us shrinks as she leans closer, studying my face like she's memorizing it. Her hand covers mine on the table, warm and steady. Stephanie. Yeah? I'm glad you came to the film club tonight. Me too. We sit in that charged silence, hands touching, the rest of the diner fading into background noise. When she starts to pull away, I catch her wrist gently. Don't. Don't what? Don't retreat. Please. Outside, dawn creeps across the parking lot. We've been talking for hours, sharing stories about art and authenticity and the courage required for both. As we walk to our cars, Mariah stops near her old Honda Civic. This was nice, she says softly. Really nice. Can I see you again? I'd like that. She steps closer, close enough that I can smell her shampoo and see the gold flecks in her brown eyes. My heart pounds without chemical assistance for the first time in months. Stephanie? Yes. I'm going to kiss you now, if that's okay. Instead of answering, I close the distance between us. Her lips are soft and warm, tasting like coffee and possibility. The kiss is gentle but certain, neither of us rushing or performing, just two women discovering something real in a parking lot at sunrise. When we part, she's smiling. Definitely want to see you again, she murmurs against my lips. Soon, I promise. Driving home to my empty mansion, I realize I haven't thought about pills once in the last hour. 3 days later, I text Mariah my address. My hands shake slightly as I type, not from withdrawal but from anticipation. The Irvine Hills mansion feels different when I'm expecting someone who actually wants to see me, not just the celebrity brand. Come over tonight, I write. I want to show you something real. Her response arrives within minutes, address received. Should I bring my sketch pad? Bring whatever makes you comfortable. I spend the afternoon cleaning frantically, hiding pill bottles, arranging fresh flowers from my neglected garden. When the doorbell rings at 7, I've changed clothes 4 times and taken only 1 pill, half my usual evening dose. Holy shit, Mariah breathes, staring at the Spanish Revival architecture. This is where you live. This is where I hide, I correct, leading her inside. Different thing entirely. The foyer impresses everyone, with its soaring ceilings and imported tile, but I guide her quickly past the formal spaces toward my private sanctuary. Through French doors lies my favorite room, a converted sun porch filled with books, soft lighting, and comfortable furniture untouched by decorators. Now this feels like you, she says, settling onto the oversized couch. The woman from the diner, not the magazine covers. You're very perceptive. Occupational hazard. Artists notice details. She opens her sketch pad, but instead of drawing, she shows me pages I haven't seen. Botanical illustrations so precise they could belong in scientific journals, yet infused with artistic soul that transforms simple plants into extraordinary beauty. These are incredible, Mariah. The detail, the life you capture. My grandmother taught me. She said every living thing has a story worth telling. I curl up beside her, close enough to study each pen stroke. What story are you telling with this one? She points to a desert sage illustration. Survival, beauty thriving in harsh conditions. Sounds familiar. Does it? Our eyes meet and something shifts between us. The careful politeness dissolves, replaced by raw honesty and magnetic pull. When she sets the sketchpad aside, I know we've crossed a threshold. Stephanie? Yeah? I've been thinking about that kiss. Me too. And I've been thinking about more than kissing. Heat floods through me, not chemical but pure human desire. Mariah. If you don't want this, tell me now. Instead of answering, I lean forward and capture her lips with mine. This kiss is deeper than our first, urgent and exploring. Her hands tangle in my blonde hair as I pull her closer, needing to feel her warmth against me. Your bedroom, she whispers against my mouth. I lead her upstairs, my heart pounding with anticipation rather than anxiety for once. The master suite overlooks the canyon, city lights twinkling below like fallen stars. Mariah moves to the window, moonlight painting her brunette hair silver. Come here, I whisper. She turns, and we meet in the middle of the room. Her hands trace my face gently before fumbling with the buttons of my silk blouse. I help her, desperate to feel skin against skin. When she slides the fabric from my shoulders, her touch sends electricity through every nerve. You're beautiful, she breathes. So are you. We move together slowly, savoring each touch and kiss. Her skin is soft and warm beneath my fingers as we sink onto the bed. The world outside disappears as we explore each other with hands and mouths, building heat between us until nothing exists except this moment, this connection, this perfect fusion of two souls finding home in each other. Later we lie entwined as rain begins pattering against the windows. Mariah traces lazy patterns on my shoulder, her breathing finally steady. That was, she starts. Perfect, I finish. I was going to say unexpected. Why unexpected? She lifts her head to look at me. Because I've never felt anything like that before. That connected to someone. Neither have I. Not even with your ex-boyfriends from the tabloids? I laugh softly. Those were all fake relationships for publicity. Catherine set them up. Catherine? My agent. She manages my entire life, including who I'm supposed to date for maximum media impact. Mariah frowns. That sounds exhausting. It is. But tonight, with you, I actually felt alive. She kisses my forehead tenderly. Stay alive, Stephanie. The real you is worth protecting. Outside, the rain intensifies, creating our own private world within these walls. The buzzing of my phone at 6 a.m. shatters our peaceful morning. Catherine's name flashes on the screen like a warning signal. Mariah stirs beside me, her hair splayed across my pillow like spilled chocolate. Don't answer it, she mumbles sleepily. But I know Catherine. If I don't pick up now, she'll come here personally, and that conversation would be infinitely worse. Watson here, I answer, trying to sound professional while naked in bed with the most beautiful woman I've ever known. Stephanie, darling, we need to talk, now. My office in an hour. Catherine, it's barely dawn. The tabloids don't sleep, sweetheart, neither do we. 1 hour. The line goes dead. Mariah props herself up on her elbow, brown eyes concerned. Everything okay? My agent wants to see me. Probably another publicity stunt or endorsement deal. On Saturday morning? I kiss her forehead, inhaling her scent. The entertainment industry doesn't recognize weekends. I'll be back soon. Catherine's Beverly Hills office overlooks the city like a predator surveying territory. She's already pacing when I arrive, her silver hair pulled into a severe bun. Designer suit pristine despite the early hour. Sit, she commands, not looking up from her tablet. Good morning to you too, Catherine. There's nothing good about this morning. She slides the tablet across her glass desk. Care to explain these? My blood freezes. Paparazzi photos fill the screen. Me and Mariah at the diner, holding hands, leaving together, the kiss in the parking lot, captured in grainy but unmistakable detail. Where did you get these? Does it matter? What matters is damage control. Who is she? Her name is Mariah. She's an artist. Artist. Catherine spits the word like poison. Stephanie, darling, we've worked too hard building your brand to let some nobody destroy it. She's not destroying anything. Really? Your last 3 films grossed over 200 million combined. Your endorsement deals are worth 50 million annually. All of that disappears if you come out as gay. Lesbian, I correct quietly. Whatever you want to call it, it's career suicide. Middle America doesn't buy tickets to watch lesbian actresses play romantic leads with men. My chest tightens. I need a pill badly, but Catherine's watching me like a hawk. Times are changing, Catherine. Not fast enough for your mortgage payments. She leans forward, voice dropping to that dangerous whisper I know too well. Here's what's going to happen. You'll break up with this Mariah person immediately. We'll arrange a very public relationship with Marcus Thompson, your co-star from the new thriller. Marcus is gay too. Exactly. Mutually beneficial arrangement. His people already agreed. The room spins slightly. I grip the chair arms, fighting panic without pharmaceutical assistance. I won't do it. You will, because of this. She slides another document across the desk. Your contract gives me complete control over your public image. Breach it, and you owe the studio 40 million in damages. You can't force me to live a lie. I can, and I will. You have 24 hours to end things with this artist girl. Make it convincing, or I'll make sure she faces consequences too. What kind of consequences? Catherine's smile is arctic. Her little art career depends on gallery connections, doesn't it? Amazing how quickly those relationships can disappear when the right people make the right phone calls. Rage floods through me, hot and clarifying. You're threatening her? I'm protecting your investment. Our investment. Don't be naive, Stephanie. This is business. I stand abruptly, legs shaking. I need to think. Don't think too long. Marcus is flying in tomorrow for the photo shoot. Exclusive interview with People magazine about your whirlwind romance. Driving back to Irvine, I pull into a pharmacy parking lot and swallow 3 pills dry. My hands won't stop trembling. Catherine's threats echo in my mind, each word a knife twist deeper. Mariah is cooking breakfast when I return, wearing my oversized shirt and nothing else. The domestic scene should be perfect, but guilt and terror poison everything. How did it go? She asks, not turning from the stove. Fine, just scheduling stuff. She faces me then, those perceptive brown eyes seeing straight through my lie. Stephanie, what's wrong? You look like you've seen a ghost. Nothing's wrong. Don't lie to me, please. The pills aren't working fast enough. My breathing becomes shallow, panic clawing at my chest. I said nothing's wrong. Bullshit. She moves closer, reaching for my hands. Your pupils are dilated. You're shaking. What did you take? Just vitamins. Those aren't vitamins, are they? The question hangs between us like a blade. All our intimacy, all our connection, suddenly feels fragile and breakable. Mariah, you don't understand the pressures I'm under. Then help me understand. But I can't. Not without destroying both our lives. I think you should go. What? You should leave. This was a mistake. Her face crumples like I've struck her. A mistake? Last night was a mistake? Yes. You're lying. I'm not. Look me in the eyes and tell me you don't care about me. I can't do it. The words stick in my throat like broken glass. I thought so, she whispers, tears starting. Whatever scared you this morning, we can face it together. No, we can't. Why not? Because you don't belong in my world, Mariah. Go back to your plants and your quiet life. Forget about me. She stares at me for a long moment, then starts gathering her clothes. You're making a terrible mistake, Stephanie Watson. Maybe, but it's my mistake to make. When the door closes behind her, I collapse onto the couch and reach for my pill bottle with shaking hands. 2 weeks after destroying the best thing that ever happened to me, I'm sitting in Dr. Elena Cross's office, desperate enough to try therapy. The pills aren't enough anymore. Neither is the fake relationship Catherine orchestrated with Marcus, complete with staged paparazzi shots and fabricated love quotes. Tell me about your addiction, Stephanie. Dr. Cross leans forward in her leather chair, gray eyes intense behind wire-rimmed glasses. She's younger than I expected, maybe late 30s, with auburn hair pulled into a severe bun. Something about her attention feels different from other therapists I've tried. I need them to function. The anxiety, the pressure, it's overwhelming without pharmaceutical help. When did it start? 3 years ago. A back injury during stunt work. The prescription became a crutch, then a necessity. She scribbles notes, nodding sympathetically. And relationships? How do they factor into your substance use? My chest tightens thinking about Mariah. There was someone recently. I had to end it. Had to? Or chose to? Same difference. Not at all. Choice implies agency. Had to implies external pressure. Her pen hovers over her notepad. Who pressured you? I hesitate. Catherine made it clear that discretion was non-negotiable. Professional obligations. Entertainment industry demands certain sacrifices. Including romantic happiness? Sometimes. Dr. Cross sets down her pen, leaning back with a calculated expression. Stephanie, may I speak frankly? Please. This person you ended things with, she's toxic for your recovery. Excuse me? Women who enable addiction through emotional manipulation are particularly dangerous. They create codependent patterns that sabotage genuine healing. Mariah wasn't manipulative. Mariah. She writes the name carefully. Tell me about her behavior. Did she question your medication, make you feel guilty about necessary treatments? The memory stings. Mariah discovering my pill stash, the concern in her brown eyes, her gentle questions about what I was really taking. She was worried about me. Worry can be a form of control. Making addicts feel ashamed about their medicine is a classic manipulation tactic. Something feels wrong about this interpretation, but Dr. Cross sounds so confident, so professional. I don't think Mariah was trying to control me. Addiction clouds judgment, Stephanie. You're not seeing clearly yet. She prescribes new medications, supposedly to help with withdrawal symptoms and anxiety. The pills are different colors, different shapes, but they provide the same blessed numbness I crave. These will help stabilize your moods while we work through the underlying trauma, she explains, handing me 3 prescription bottles. Take them exactly as directed. And Stephanie, it's crucial that you maintain distance from anyone who might undermine your progress. Including Mariah? Especially Mariah. I leave her office with renewed pharmaceutical hope and growing doubt about the woman I miss desperately. Maybe Dr. Cross is right. Maybe I'm not thinking clearly. The fake relationship with Marcus continues its choreographed dance. Public dinners where we barely speak, red carpet appearances with practiced smiles, tabloid interviews about our passionate romance. Marcus plays his part professionally, but his eyes reflect the same hollow exhaustion I feel. This is killing us both, he whispers during a photo shoot break. Catherine says it's temporary, until the next movie cycle. Catherine says a lot of things. 3 weeks into therapy, I run into Mariah at a Whole Foods in Irvine. My heart stops when I see her in the produce section, examining avocados with the same concentrated attention she once gave her artwork. She's lost weight, darker circles under those beautiful brown eyes. Stephanie. Mariah. Her name feels like prayer and curse simultaneously. How are you? Good. Great, actually. Really good. She studies my face with artistic precision. You look tired. New movie prep. Long hours. Right. I saw the photos of you and Marcus. Very convincing. Pain flashes across her features before she masks it with polite distance. I want to tell her everything. About Catherine's threats. About Dr. Cross's confusing advice. About how I miss her every damn second. But the new pills make emotions feel distant, manageable. I should go, I say instead. Of course. Wouldn't want to keep Marcus waiting. She turns to leave, then stops. Stephanie? Yeah? I hope you find what you're looking for. Walking away from her again feels like self-amputation. That night, I call Dr. Cross in crisis. The encounter with Mariah has shattered my carefully maintained numbness, leaving raw grief and regret bleeding through the pharmaceutical barriers. She's still affecting you, Dr. Cross observes, during our emergency phone session. This proves my point about her toxic influence. Maybe I made a mistake. Stephanie, listen to me carefully. Addicts often romanticize relationships that enabled their destructive patterns. Mariah represents your disease, not your recovery. But I felt better with her. You felt enabled. There's a difference. I'm not sure I believe that anymore. Then you need more intensive treatment. I'm scheduling twice-weekly sessions. We need to break these obsessive thought patterns before they derail your progress entirely. After hanging up, I stare at my reflection in the bathroom mirror. The woman looking back appears successful, medicated, manageable. But her eyes are empty, puppet strings visible where authentic emotion used to live. I take my prescribed pills and try to forget the way Mariah's face crumpled when she saw me pretending to be happy. Dr. Cross insists this pain is necessary for healing, but it feels more like slowly dying from the inside out. The bottles rattle as I shake them, counting doses. Somehow I'm taking more pills now than when I started therapy, but Dr. Cross assures me this is normal for the transition period. Normal. As if anything about my life bears resemblance to normal anymore. 1 month into my twice-weekly sessions with Dr. Cross, the lines between recovery and destruction have blurred beyond recognition. I'm taking 6 different medications now, each supposedly addressing a different aspect of my psychological profile that she's carefully mapped and diagnosed. You're making excellent progress, she tells me during our Tuesday session, adjusting her glasses with that calculated smile. But I think it would be beneficial if Mariah joined us for a few sessions. Mariah? Why? Closure. Confronting toxic relationships in a controlled environment often accelerates healing. Something feels wrong about this suggestion, but the pills make critical thinking feel like swimming through molasses. She won't want to see me. Let me worry about that. I have ways of reaching out to people who matter to my patient's recovery. 3 days later, Mariah sits across from me in Dr. Cross's office, looking confused and wary. She's wearing a simple green dress that makes her brown eyes appear luminous, and seeing her this close again sends my carefully medicated heart into overdrive. Thank you for coming, Mariah. Dr. Cross begins smoothly. Stephanie's been struggling with her feelings about your relationship, and I thought a guided conversation might help both of you find peace. I don't understand why I'm here, Mariah says, glancing at me with concern. Stephanie made it clear she didn't want me in her life. Sometimes addicts make decisions during active use that don't reflect their true feelings, Dr. Cross explains. Stephanie's been working hard to understand her patterns. Is that true? Mariah asks me directly. I want to tell her everything. About Catherine's threats. About my growing suspicion that Dr. Cross isn't helping me heal so much as managing my compliance. But the words stick behind pharmaceutical fog. It's complicated, I manage. Dr. Cross takes control of the conversation, steering it toward what she calls relationship dynamics analysis. She asks pointed questions about our time together, about Mariah's concerns regarding my medication, about the power imbalances she claims existed between us. Mariah, how did you feel when Stephanie took her prescribed medications? Dr. Cross asks. Worried. They weren't prescribed medications. They were street pills she was buying. Street pills? Dr. Cross's eyebrows rise theatrically. Stephanie, you told me these were legitimate prescriptions. Confusion washes over me. I never said that. But the pills make memory unreliable, events blurring together like watercolors in rain. I don't remember exactly what I said, I admit. This is concerning, Dr. Cross continues, making notes. Mariah, did you encourage Stephanie to stop taking her medicine? I encouraged her to get help from a real doctor. But you're not medically trained, are you? Making someone feel guilty about necessary medication can be a form of emotional abuse. Mariah's face goes pale. I wasn't trying to abuse anyone. I was trying to help someone I cared about. Care can become control very easily, Dr. Cross says gently. Stephanie, how does it feel to hear Mariah admit she was trying to manage your medical decisions? The room tilts slightly. This isn't what Mariah said, but Dr. Cross sounds so authoritative, so certain. Maybe my drug-clouded memory is unreliable. I guess it was controlling, I hear myself say. Mariah looks like I've struck her. Stephanie, that's not what happened. Memory distortion is common in addiction, Dr. Cross explains to Mariah. Stephanie's working to understand how enabling relationships contributed to her substance abuse. Enabling? I tried to get her to seek professional help, which undermined her autonomy and created shame around medication she needed to function. The session continues for another 30 minutes, Dr. Cross skillfully twisting every interaction Mariah and I shared into evidence of codependency and manipulation. By the end, Mariah looks devastated and confused, while I feel more lost than ever. I don't understand what just happened, Mariah says as we walk to the parking garage after the session. Dr. Cross is helping me see things clearly. Clearly? Stephanie, she made it sound like I was some kind of abuser. All I did was love you. The word love penetrates the pharmaceutical haze like a knife. You said you loved me? Of course I did. Do. Despite everything, I still do. But Dr. Cross says love without boundaries becomes control. That's bullshit and you know it. Mariah grabs my shoulders gently. Look at me. Really look at me. Do you think I was trying to control you? For a moment, the medications recede enough for clarity to surface. Mariah's face, full of genuine concern and affection. Her hands, gentle but desperate. Her eyes, holding nothing but authentic care. No, I whisper. But Dr. Cross says my judgment is compromised. What if her judgment is compromised? What if she's the one manipulating you? That's crazy. Is it? How many pills are you taking now compared to when we met? I try to count, but the numbers swim together. She says it's temporary for the transition period. Stephanie, what if there is no transition period? What if she's keeping you medicated so you'll keep coming back? The suggestion terrifies me because it makes horrible sense. I have to go. Please, just think about what I'm saying. I can't. I'm too confused. Then stop taking the pills for 24 hours. See how your mind feels without them. Dr. Cross says stopping abruptly is dangerous. Everything about this situation is dangerous. That night, I stare at my pill bottles, Mariah's words echoing through medicated fog. 6 different prescriptions, all supposedly necessary for my mental health. But what if they're the reason I can't think straight anymore? The next morning, I attend my session with Dr. Cross, feeling more uncertain than ever. How did the joint session feel? She asks. Confusing. Mariah's manipulation techniques can be subtle. She's trying to regain control by making you doubt your treatment. Dr. Cross leans forward intently. You're becoming stronger, Stephanie. She senses that and feels threatened. Maybe. There's no maybe about it. I've seen this pattern dozens of times. Toxic partners always escalate their control tactics when their victims start healing. The words sound reasonable, but something deep inside me rebels against calling Mariah toxic. I think I need some time to process everything, I say carefully. Of course. But don't let processing become rumination. Overthinking can trigger relapse. She hands me another prescription. This will help quiet the mental noise while you integrate yesterday's insights. Walking out with yet another bottle of pills, I realize I've become completely dependent on Dr. Cross's version of reality. The thought terrifies and liberates me simultaneously. Maybe it's time to find out which one of us is really lying. The call from Catherine comes at dawn, jolting me from restless medicated sleep. Marcus is flying to New York for a fashion shoot, and she's arranged an impromptu romantic getaway to Big Sur for maximum publicity impact. Exclusive photos for Vanity Fair, she explains while I fumble for my pill bottles. The lovebirds stealing away for private time. Very aspirational, very marketable. Catherine, I can barely function right now. That's what makeup artists are for, darling. Car arrives in 2 hours. The fake romantic weekend is a choreographed nightmare. Marcus and I pose on scenic overlooks, pretending to share intimate moments while photographers capture our manufactured chemistry. Between shots, he confides his own struggles with the charade. My boyfriend thinks I'm losing myself in this role, he whispers during a costume change. Are you? Aren't we all? That evening, alone in my palatial hotel suite while Marcus retreats to his own room, I stare at the 7 pill bottles Dr. Cross has prescribed. The labels swim together in a pharmaceutical blur. Anxiety, depression, sleep disorders, attention deficit, mood stabilization. When did I become a walking pharmacy? Mariah's words echo through the chemical haze. Stop taking the pills for 24 hours. See how your mind feels without them. The suggestion terrifies me, but something deeper than fear drives me to flush every pill down the marble bathroom sink. If I'm going to understand what's real, I need to feel something authentic again. The withdrawal hits within 6 hours, sweating, shaking, nausea rolling through me in waves. But underneath the physical discomfort, something else emerges: clarity, sharp, painful, undeniable clarity. Dr. Cross has been manipulating me systematically, increasing my medication while decreasing my ability to think critically. The joint session with Mariah wasn't therapy, it was psychological warfare designed to isolate me further. By morning, I'm sick but lucid enough to see my situation clearly. Catherine controls my career through threats and contracts. Dr. Cross controls my mind through pharmaceutical dependency. Between them, they've reduced me to a profitable puppet, with no agency over my own life. I call Mariah from the hotel balcony, hands still trembling but mind sharp for the first time in months. Stephanie? Her voice carries surprise and wariness. I need to see you, please. Are you okay? You sound different. I stopped taking the pills. All of them. Silence stretches between us before she speaks carefully. How do you feel? Like I've been living underwater for months and just remembered how to breathe. Where are you? Big Sur, fake romantic getaway with Marcus. But I'm driving back tonight. That's dangerous if you're going through withdrawal. Not as dangerous as staying disconnected from reality. Stephanie, there's something I need to tell you about Dr. Cross. What? I've been researching her. She's had her license suspended twice for inappropriate relationships with patients. And there are lawsuits, allegations of keeping people dependent on medication unnecessarily. The revelation hits like a physical blow. Why didn't you tell me sooner? I tried, but you wouldn't listen. The pills made you distrust everything except her voice. I'm so sorry, Mariah, for everything I said, everything I believed about you. Just come home safely. We'll figure out the rest together. The drive back to Irvine takes 4 hours, my withdrawal symptoms intensifying with each mile. But determination carries me forward, fueled by rage at the people who've stolen months of my life and nearly destroyed the only genuine relationship I've ever had. Mariah is waiting when I arrive at my house, sitting on the front steps with a thermos of tea and infinite patience. When she sees my condition, pale and shaking but determined, her brown eyes fill with tears. You look terrible, she says gently. I feel terrible, but I also feel real. Come here. I collapse into her arms, finally allowing myself to feel everything I've suppressed under pharmaceutical numbness. The fear, the loneliness, the desperate love I never stopped feeling for this extraordinary woman. I missed you so damn much, I whisper against her neck. I missed you too. I'm scared, Mariah, about what happens next, about withdrawal, about whether I can find myself again. You're already finding yourself. This conversation, choosing to stop the pills, calling me, that's all you. We move inside, where she helps me to the couch and wraps me in blankets. The withdrawal symptoms are brutal, but having her near makes them bearable. She holds me through waves of nausea, strokes my hair during panic attacks, never once saying I told you so. How did you know? I ask during a brief respite from symptoms. How did you see what I couldn't? Because I love the real you, not the medicated version. When someone you love disappears behind chemicals, you notice. Even when I was horrible to you, especially then. The cruelty wasn't you, Stephanie. It was designed to push me away. Dr. Cross told me you were toxic. She told you I was toxic so you'd depend on her instead of me. Classic manipulation. As dawn breaks, my symptoms begin to stabilize slightly. Mariah makes breakfast while I shower, washing away months of pharmaceutical fog. When I emerge, she's arranged toast and fruit on the kitchen island, simple food my stomach might actually accept. Better? She asks. Getting there. Stephanie? Yeah? I want to try something, if you're okay with it. Instead of answering, she moves closer, cupping my face in her hands. Her brown eyes search mine, looking for the woman she fell in love with. I want to remind you who you really are, she whispers. How? Like this. Her kiss is soft and careful, mindful of my fragile state but full of love and promise. Unlike our first kisses, this one carries the weight of everything we've survived, everything we've almost lost. I love you, I whisper against her lips. I love you too. We make love slowly on the living room couch, reacquainting ourselves with each other's bodies and souls. Every touch feels amplified after months of numbness, every sensation sharp and precious. When she moves above me, brown hair falling like a curtain around our faces, I finally understand what Dr. Cross tried to steal from us. Authentic connection, genuine intimacy, real love that doesn't need chemical enhancement or professional validation. Afterward, we lie entwined as morning light streams through the windows. The withdrawal isn't over, and the battles with Catherine and Dr. Cross haven't even begun. But for the first time in months, I feel hope. What happens now? I ask. Now we fight back, Mariah says firmly. Together. Fighting back requires evidence, and gathering evidence requires infiltrating the spaces where our enemies feel most secure. Mariah and I spend 3 days planning our approach, my withdrawal symptoms gradually subsiding as clarity returns. Dr. Cross keeps files on all her patients, I explain over coffee in my kitchen, digital and physical. If we can prove she's been over-medicating people systematically, we can bring her down. Breaking into a therapist's office is illegal, Stephanie. So is medical malpractice and psychological manipulation. Mariah traces patterns on the table, her artistic mind working through logistics. What about security cameras? Her building is old Hollywood glamour, not modern surveillance. Besides, I still have appointments scheduled. If I go in legitimately, then discover I forgot something afterward. That's thin. It's what we have. Thursday evening, I arrive at Dr. Cross's office for my scheduled session, physically clean for the first time in months, but playing the role of compliant patient. She notices immediately. You look different, Stephanie. More alert. I've been sleeping better. Excellent. The new medication regimen is clearly working. She studies my face intently, though I'm sensing some underlying anxiety. Perhaps we should adjust your dosage. Actually, I've been thinking about what you said regarding Mariah. You're right. She was toxic for my recovery. Doctor? Cross's gray eyes light with satisfaction. I'm glad you're finally seeing clearly. Toxic relationships can derail years of progress. I want to make sure she can't interfere again. What do you mean? I recorded our last conversation, her trying to convince me to stop taking medication. I thought you might want to hear it for your files. That would be very helpful for understanding her manipulation tactics. I pretend to search through my purse. Damn, I must have left the recorder in my car. Could I run down and get it? Of course. I'll be here reviewing your progress notes. Perfect. The hallway outside her office is empty, most therapists having left for the evening. I move quickly to the filing cabinets in her reception area, using techniques Marcus taught me from his spy thriller research. The locks are simple, designed more for privacy than security. Mariah's file is thicker than expected, filled with notes from sessions she never attended. Dr. Cross has been building a psychological profile based entirely on my medicated perceptions, crafting a narrative of manipulation and abuse that exists only in her imagination. But it's my own file that makes my blood run cold. Patient exhibits classic codependent patterns requiring long-term pharmaceutical intervention. Relationship with subject M represents greatest threat to treatment compliance. Recommend escalating medication to ensure continued dependency and isolation from external influences. She's been deliberately keeping me drugged and isolated. The woman I trusted with my recovery has been systematically destroying my ability to recover. I photograph everything with my phone, hands shaking with rage rather than withdrawal. Other files reveal similar patterns with different patients, a carefully constructed system of pharmaceutical control disguised as mental health treatment. Find what you were looking for? Dr. Cross's voice from the doorway freezes my blood. She stands silhouetted against the office light, no longer bothering with her caring therapist facade. I was just looking through confidential patient files. Yes, I can see that. These files prove you've been over-medicating people intentionally. These files prove I provide intensive care for severely disturbed individuals, including you, Stephanie. She moves closer, and I notice she's holding a syringe. You've had a psychotic break, brought on by stopping your medication against medical advice. Very dangerous. Very sad. Stay back. I'm trying to help you, Stephanie. This paranoid episode will pass once we get your medication levels stabilized again. I'm not paranoid. You've been controlling me through drugs. You're having persecutory delusions, classic symptom of withdrawal psychosis. She lunges forward with the syringe, but months of action movie training kick in. I dodge sideways, knocking over a lamp that crashes into the filing cabinet. The syringe skitters across the floor as we struggle. Help! I scream, hoping someone in the building might hear. There's no one here, Stephanie. Just you and me working through your crisis. She's stronger than expected, pinning me against the wall with surprising force. Her calm therapist demeanor has vanished, replaced by something cold and predatory. This could have been easy, she hisses. Gradual increases, yearly renewals, a lifetime of profitable dependency. But you had to involve her. The syringe glints near the overturned chair. If I can reach it, turn this around somehow. Mariah was right about you, I gasp. Mariah is a nobody artist who nearly ruined everything. But don't worry. After your tragic overdose, she'll be too devastated to cause problems. Overdose? Accidental, of course. Withdrawal symptoms, depression over losing Marcus, too many pills taken in emotional distress. Very believable. Terror gives me strength I didn't know I possessed. I break free from her grip, diving for the syringe just as the office door explodes open. Mariah charges in like an avenging angel, wielding a heavy art portfolio as a weapon. Get away from her! Dr. Cross turns toward this new threat, giving me the opening I need. I grab the syringe and scramble behind the desk, phone already dialing 911. This is Dr. Cross, she says smoothly, instantly resuming her professional persona. I'm with a patient experiencing a severe psychotic episode. We need emergency psychiatric intervention. Don't listen to her. I shout into the phone. She's been drugging me illegally. The patient is having persecutory delusions, Dr. Cross continues calmly. She's become violent and dangerous to herself and others. Mariah moves protectively between us, portfolio raised defensively. Stephanie, did you get what we came for? Photos. Everything's documented. Patient is being encouraged by an enabler, Dr. Cross tells the dispatcher. This individual has been undermining treatment and encouraging medication non-compliance. We have evidence, I tell the 911 operator. Files proving systematic medical malpractice. Please send police, not just paramedics. The dispatcher confirms units are en route. As Dr. Cross realizes her control is slipping, she makes one final desperate play. Stephanie, you're sick. You need help. Let me help you. Your help nearly destroyed me. Without medication, you'll spiral into addiction again. Back to street drugs, back to self-destruction. Maybe. But it'll be my choice, not yours. Sirens wail in the distance as Mariah pulls me close, both of us shaking but victorious. Dr. Cross sits heavily in her chair, the mask finally slipping completely. You have no idea what you've done, she says quietly. Some people need to be controlled for their own good. Some people need to be stopped, Mariah replies firmly. The police arrive first, followed by paramedics and eventually detectives who take our statements and examine the photographed evidence. Dr. Cross maintains her professional composure, but the files speak for themselves. As dawn breaks over Beverly Hills, Mariah and I sit in my car outside the medical building, holding hands and watching our tormentor led away in handcuffs. Is it over? I ask. This part is. Catherine's next. I kiss her then, soft and grateful and full of promise. Whatever comes next, we face it together. Together, she agrees. 6 months after Dr. Cross's arrest made headlines across entertainment news, I stand in the back garden of my Irvine home, watching Mariah arrange easels for what she calls her freedom paintings. The rehabilitation process has been brutal but necessary, facing withdrawal symptoms and legal battles while rebuilding my sense of self from pharmaceutical ashes. Catherine's downfall came swiftly once the media learned about her role in enabling my addiction and orchestrating fake relationships. The entertainment industry, always quick to distance itself from scandal, dropped her agency like radioactive waste. Her threats about contract violations evaporated when lawyers discovered her manipulation tactics violated fiduciary duty laws. "The light's perfect right now," Mariah calls, adjusting her canvas. She's painted 3 portraits of me during recovery, each one capturing more authentic emotion than the last. Today's session focuses on my hands, steady now without pharmaceutical tremors, capable of holding brushes and dreams again. How do you want me positioned? However feels natural. This isn't about performance anymore. The distinction matters more than she knows. Everything in my old life was performance, calculated gestures designed to maximize marketability. Now I make independent films that challenge audiences rather than comfort them, working with directors who value authenticity over box office receipts. Marcus visits occasionally, having also escaped Catherine's web to pursue theater projects with his boyfriend. We laugh about our fake romance now, bonding over shared recovery experiences and newfound creative freedom. "Remember when we had to practice holding hands?" He joked during his last visit. Now I can't imagine holding anyone's hand but Mariah's. The legal proceedings against Dr. Cross revealed a pattern of abuse spanning decades. 23 former patients came forward with similar stories of overmedication and psychological manipulation. Her medical license was permanently revoked, and she's serving 8 years for medical malpractice and fraud. "Justice doesn't heal the damage," Mariah observed after the sentencing hearing, "but it might prevent future victims." My withdrawal lasted 6 weeks, supervised by legitimate medical professionals who helped me distinguish between necessary medication and chemical dependency. The anxiety remains, but therapy with ethical practitioners teaches me coping mechanisms that don't require pharmaceutical crutches. "Stephanie, can you look toward the orange trees?" Mariah requests, brush poised over her palette. I turn, catching sight of the fruit we planted together last month. Small symbols of growth and patience, requiring seasons of careful tending before they bear sweetness. "What are you thinking about?" she asks, reading my expression with artist's intuition. Time. How much we wasted on other people's definitions of success. Not wasted. Survived. Her optimism amazes me daily. Despite everything Catherine and Dr. Cross put us through, Mariah approaches each morning with curiosity rather than cynicism. Her art has evolved too, incorporating human figures into her botanical illustrations, bridging the gap between natural beauty and emotional truth. "I have something for you," I say, reaching into my jacket pocket. "It's not my birthday. It's better than a birthday." The ring catches afternoon sunlight, a simple band featuring Mariah's own design engraved into white gold. She drew it months ago, a delicate vine pattern that represents growth through adversity. I had it crafted by a local jeweler who specializes in custom pieces. "Stephanie, I know we've talked about marriage being a patriarchal institution designed to control women's sexuality and economic independence. We have discussed that, yes. But I also know that choosing to commit publicly, in front of people who matter, can be an act of rebellion rather than submission." She sets down her brush carefully, brown eyes wide with surprise and something deeper. "Are you proposing?" "I'm asking if you want to build something permanent together, not because society expects it, but because we choose it. That's the most romantic thing anyone's ever said to me. Is that a yes?" Instead of answering immediately, she crosses the garden space between us, paint still wet on her fingers, and kisses me with lips that taste like autumn air and possibility. "Yes," she whispers against my mouth. "Obviously yes." I slide the ring onto her finger, both of us crying and laughing simultaneously. The fit is perfect, her design transformed from artistic concept into tangible symbol of our shared future. "When?" she asks. "Whenever you want, wherever you want, however you want. City Hall next week. Just us and witnesses we actually like." Perfect. We spend the rest of the afternoon planning a simple ceremony that reflects our values rather than entertainment industry expectations. No paparazzi, no publicity arrangements, no fake smiles for cameras, just two women choosing love over everything that tried to destroy it. That evening, we lie in bed sharing dreams about the future. Mariah wants to illustrate a children's book about plants that grow in difficult conditions. I want to produce films that tell stories about people society typically ignores. We could collaborate, she suggests drowsily. Documentary about addiction recovery through art therapy. Using your paintings as visual narrative, and your story as proof that healing is possible. I love that idea. I love you. I love you too. 6 months ago, I was a medicated puppet dancing to other people's strings, convinced that authentic love was impossible in my artificial world. Now I wake each morning beside a woman who sees my scars as evidence of survival rather than failure, whose touch reminds me that bodies were designed for pleasure and connection, not just performance and profit. The October sky darkens outside our windows, stars appearing one by one like hope returning after long darkness. Tomorrow we'll face whatever challenges come with choosing authenticity over security, but tonight we're simply two women who found each other across impossible circumstances and decided to keep choosing each other every day afterward. Mariah? Thank you for not giving up on me. Thank you for coming back to yourself. Outside, the orange trees rustle in evening wind, growing slowly toward fruit we'll harvest together when the season is right.